Hello, Tiffany Almazan here, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada on this episode, number 2 of Raw for Joy, where I share my journey with you of living life on a living and raw foods diet, or a raw and living foods diet, lifestyle, probably a better word than diet. Maybe I should figure out what my line is, right? And really what it means for me in my life to be doing this. And I'm really focused right now on an 80% raw and living foods, 20% non-raw, in that there's gonna be a few cooked things. There's probably gonna be some lightly cooked recipes that I'll make. Maple syrup isn't really raw, and that's still going in my coffee right now. But that's my benchmark of what I'm working towards right now. So on this episode, week 2 is officially day 11 for me. And so I really needed to come to you and share with you this video before I lose track of everything and it gets all blurred together. But on this first week, let's see, I want to share how I've been feeling, what I've been eating, how I've gotten through the first week, what my wins were, any losses that I had, what I'm learning, what I'm taking in, and what I'm absorbing this week. I said I would be sharing with you as well, so I have a thought in mind around that. And also the recipe of the week, which was what was the standout highlight for what I was eating this week. Okay, so shall we dive in? All right, how am I feeling? I've been feeling really good, and I will say it was a little puzzling at first because I was like, this is too easy. I'm like, what did I eat today? I'm like, well, I ate that and I'm not hungry now, and okay, I can have this, and then I was full, and it was strange in a way. You just kind of kept thinking it should be more difficult than this, right? So that was my first kind of thought on it. Within at the first day, I started feeling lighter because my pattern has been eat really good and then eat a little bit of junk, really good and a little bit of junk. And so you're never consistent on the raw and living foods that sustain that energy and keep you going and keep you up. So it was just the seesaw I was starting to feel, which I didn't like at all. And that has immediately lifted. So feeling very light, upbeat on it, not excessive energy or anything. I've been really getting a lot of sleep, just kind of at an even keel right now, just feeling lighter, very clear in my mindset. I have this intention with what I'm doing, and it's like it's beyond the food, really, like I shared last week. And so as I went through this week, and anytime things came up where I could eat something that didn't fit into my new lifestyle, it was just no. It was no. And it wasn't like, oh man, I wish I could have that, or it's just no. And it's not even, I don't even want it, I don't even crave it, and I know why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I feel so solid in that it was like, no, nope, no thanks. And no need to make an excuse or apology or explanation, or later I will, or whatever. It's just like, no. And that feels really cool. I don't recall feeling that certain in my core that it was just, this is what it is, and my why, what they say, is powerful, right? But it feels like it's irrelevant, everything else, because I know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and that's more important than any bite of food right now. So that's been really kind of cool. Also on the feeling side is I've long been working on my gut and digestion, and really wanting to improve that and get things, moving better really in there. And I'm excited about that. I've continued to take my probiotics. So I've been taking 1 a day of that, and that has really helped me become more regular in the bathroom than anything has ever done. I mean, as detoxes and cleanses and juicing, all the stuff I was doing, this probiotics has helped me more than any of that. So I continued that. Some days I did even take 2, just because I could, and because you just kind of feel like you're in transition and you want to just help, for like detox, get that process going a bit more, right? But I've been feeling great with that. I'm much more regular in the bathroom. I've actually, first week, it's probably, I don't know, maybe it was every day or not, I'm not sure, but I've had 2 bowel movements most every day, and that's just unheard of for me. So that's really encouraging too, because I know I'm letting go of a lot of stuff, which I didn't even know that I'd really been building up that much stuff, so that's really exciting. On the eating side of things, what have I been eating? Not a whole lot overall. it's been very simple, which I said I wanted to do, so I'm proud of that. And I eat lots of dips. Dips are super simple to make, super quick. I've got an almond dip that has basil in it because the garden's got tons of basil, and that I make a double batch of when I make it, and so it's easy to have tons of it. Just been using sweet potatoes for the dip, and that's like a meal in itself when you have a bunch of those, and you don't feel bad about it. You just kind of get to a point where you're like, I'm full, I'm done. And that's it. So I've been having a lot of dips. I've been having some salads with some serious ingredients, like not just, lettuce, tomato, and cucumber kind of thing. I'm just having a lot of ingredients. Anything that's in the fridge you can put in. It's been really cool. And the dressings, I've been doing my standard lemon vinaigrette dressing that I love, because it's got lots of flavor and it goes good with a lot of stuff. Salads and dips have probably been a highlight. I've been really looking for a lot of other recipes. One standout is a raw pizza. I made a pizza crust, and I need to get better at it. I need to have a little bit more practice, a little more attempts under my belt, but I'm really excited with the first go at it. I've made raw pizza crusts before, and they've always been good, but this one is kind of taking it to another level. And when you get super excited and almost giddy about something, you're on the right track. I want to have a pizza party. I want to have a raw pizza party. And so I got to get good at making pizza crust. Toppings too, but pizza crust is key to having a good pizza and a good pizza party. So that was neat. So as I work through some more trials on that recipe, I will share with you as I go once it's a little bit more fine-tuned and I'm happy with my results. But that's on the food side. So almond butter balls, oh yeah, before I forget, those have been really good too. So, and I wrote some notes down here so that in my journal, so that I don't forget, my little traveler's notebook journal. Trying to keep track of things as I go, so when I do these videos, I actually know what I'm supposed to be sharing. So, wins. Okay, I always gotta talk about the wins first versus the losses. So, a big win for me is that I have really moved away from the vegan community, I guess, or the vegan information out there. I've stopped following and stopped watching a lot of vegan recipes. And also, because along with vegan for food and recipes tends to, at least who I was following anyway, also tends to come into the concern for animal welfare. And I really can't focus on any of that stuff like I shared about. I have to take the high road and the happy road and so what I've done is I've let go of a lot of that, because you look at recipes that are vegan or cooked, they could have sugar in them, they could have a lot more of flours in them than I'm going to eat. There's a lot of things in them that not only are they not raw, but they're also not considered like healthy for me at all, right? So I can't look at that and then want to eat raw. You're going to look at that and be like, oh, I want to make that, and then you feel like deprived, and it's like, no. So I need raw recipes. So I've been looking for raw people to follow on Instagram. I've been looking on YouTube for more stuff. I've been seeing, who do I already follow that I just haven't been paying attention to? So I've been revisiting all of that. That's been huge for me. It's keeping me so excited and inspired what I'm doing. That's where the raw pizza crust recipe came from. My treat at night is I get to watch some raw cooking videos, and I'm watching on YouTube, and then also I mentioned about the raw chef. So I'll watch some of his different cooking episodes for different dishes and stuff. So I haven't made tons of things yet, because like I said, I'm keeping it really simple, but I'm watching all of these things and it's fun. It's such an amazing treat for me at night. So that's definitely a big highlight. Another win is meal prep. So I'm doing really good on meal prep and being prepared, really. So I went out to eat at a breakfast meeting one day at Eggworks, and Eggworks has eggs and meat and potatoes and everything cooked, and cheese and grease and massive plates and all. And so I knew from being there before that the one thing on the menu that I knew I could have was the fruit plate, but it's massive. And then of course it comes with a muffin and this yogurt thing, and then orange juice, and then a coffee and all this. And I'm just like, I can't even eat all that. But I was like, so much acid and sugar, sweet in the morning. I was like really not feeling it for that. So I thought, well, let me check out the menu and see what else they might have that I could possibly get. And all I came up with was oatmeal. Granted, oatmeal is cooked, but I brought my own little mix of stuff. I brought my pure maple syrup because most restaurants aren't going to have that. And my mix of walnuts, ground flax seeds, cinnamon, nutmeg, raisins. Seems like there might have been something else. And then at the restaurant, I got the oatmeal they had fresh blueberries. And she gave me this huge bowl of them too. So I put all that together and had a great dish, and the oatmeal was fine in my system, which is great. So for me, that was a really good choice. But advanced checking out the menu before you go was really helpful. And then doing a little bit of prep for what I could take with me to make it a better meal was helpful too. So I love that. Went out to Southern California for a day trip on the road. 4 hours there, 4.5 back, and brought my food and prepped for that. It was just perfect, everything I needed. And get this, when you're traveling and you've got all of your own food with you, you know how nice it is on the road to not have to look for a restaurant, not have to pull out to a drive-through, and you know how much time that takes when you're on a road trip? It adds up quick. I didn't have to do that because I had it all with me, and you take finger foods that you can eat while driving, and it just worked out awesome. So that was another big win. Potluck I went to. I had a busy week. Are you hearing this yet? So I went to this potluck and I made basil pesto as a dip and took some sweet potato chips with me. And I knew if nothing else, I could eat my own dish. I don't ever make food to take anywhere that I can't eat or won't eat. That's like my rule. Regardless of the new journey that I'm on now, even before that, it was like, I'm not going to make something that I won't eat to take because I know you like it. I'm going to do what I believe is healthier and best for me, and really good for you too, according to me. So that's what I'm going to take. So I'm just continuing with that. So I took that basil pesto to the potluck, and then also they had a fruit tray there. So I had some fruit, and then there was a really great salad with spinach and walnuts and tomatoes and strawberries. Interesting combination of all that, but it was really good. And I didn't even put the dressing on it because it didn't need it. It had enough juice in the ingredients, and the dressing had sugar in it. It wasn't, raw. It was my choice not to put dressing on, and that was perfect. There were so many other things there, and like I mentioned, the mindset and not really even being tempted, I wasn't. It was just, what can you have? And I even ate a banana and drank a Youth Factor powder on the way over. So I thought, I do those two things, bring my own basil pesto. Even if there's nothing else to eat, I'm okay. I'm not going to be hungry. I'm not even going to need food. That banana and that drink so filled me up. And then I had my plate of the pesto and the sweet potato slices, salad and fruit. I was packed. I was stuffed, but there was nothing else that was even tempting. And there was tons of homemade yummy stuff there, but not for me. And it was awesome. So those are my wins. So the meal prep and who I'm following are really keys. Losses for the week. Let's see. One loss that really just kind of bothers me is that when I was on this road trip, we went to lunch after the event as a group, and it was at El Torito. And I was like, I know they're going to be heavy on the meat, and rice and beans and all. It's like, but they're going to probably have a salad or two there, right? So I'm like, I should be okay with that. And then guacamole, I can get fresh guacamole. So I'm there, and of course they bring salsa and salsa and tortilla chips to the table. And I'm like, oh, salsa, I can have salsa. And you look at the tortilla chips and you're like, not raw, but I can get 20%, right? So they're, so I ate some tortilla chips. Not really, kind of not even thinking that, I guess in the back of my mind, in the front of my mind, I knew that it was not raw. I knew that it was cooked. But it was just like, for some reason, this was still okay, because you're just going to have a few to go with the salsa. The salsa is going to be okay, even though it's not raw. That would be, in my 20% category. I mean, it could be raw, made fresh someplace, but I'm sure that wasn't raw. But yeah, so I had some tortilla chips and just really not thinking about all the oil that's on them and thinking they're corn. Corn's better than flour. There's so much oil in the frying of them and stuff. Really not good for you at all. So poor choice on my part, and yeah, I felt it afterward. It wasn't like the oatmeal that's technically still kind of healthy for you. These are just not healthy for you at all, and that should not have been anything on my list ever to have. And it wasn't like, I don't know, it was weird how that just kind of slid in. You just started eating almost like by habit. I don't know. So that was definitely a loss for me. But I paid for it because my stomach was not happy after that. I had some serious just fullness, bloat, just felt like it just wasn't going anywhere, sitting there in the pit of your stomach and it just feeling yuck. So I had a probiotic powder with me. So I had one of those and that definitely helped. So I was able to eat my sweet potato curry pasta on the way home, and that was delicious. So I made up for it. But that was definitely a loss for me. And look over my notes. I don't think I had a bit of popcorn, and it was made at home, organic popcorn, and we put some raw Parmesan cheese on it. And I was okay with that. That wasn't really a loss then, but yeah, I think that was my low point there was the tortilla chips. So overall, a pretty good week for that. So on to learning and just kind of lifestyle stuff. What I'm picking up is this book that I've been reading for a while now is Conscious Eating, Gabriel Cousins. And it's thick. Do you see how thick this is? I mean, this is like 4 inches now. It's well over 400 pages. Yeah, it's like 800 pages. A lot of information in here. So I finally got to the recipes, and oh my gosh, these are inspiring recipes. Talk about making your own spices by dehydrating like bell peppers and all of your veggies, dehydrating them, grinding up, and creating your own whole food concentrate spice. Super exciting. I'm like, oh my gosh, but this stuff is just really gonna, I'm really excited about it. Very, very wholesome, very good raw food kind of stuff, and also linked to Ayurveda with your doshas. Each recipe tells you if it balances each of the doshas, which one, or is neutral, or what season you should be eating it into. So I was like, that's really cool. But one thing I wanted to share with you is about your mindset around stuff and your eating, and really what impact that has on your health and your weight too. So I don't know how I came back to this, because these are, I flagged this spot, but I'd long read past this before I started using these little markers. So I don't know how this, I guess they come up for a reason, right? But really interesting about negative thoughts that we have, and whether it's, the importance, okay, let me back up and say, so the importance of not only eating good stuff, healthy stuff for you, but also what your mindset is while you're eating it. To be thinking joyful and positive, uplifting, upbuilding thoughts really makes an impact on the food, right? So that mentions here negative thinking or taking in negative thoughts from those sharing the meal even, or from the newspaper or the television, or if you're scrolling on Facebook as you're eating, it adds a heaviness to the food you're assimilating, which is not good, because we need to have light and love and that lightness in us, right? So here's a really cool paragraph. Food is love. Life is love. Contracting, limiting, and negative thought patterns keep us mired in chronic hunger, unconscious gobbling, and a state of chronic dissatisfaction with food intake. These heavy thoughts block us from the experience of love in our lives. No matter how much we try to eat in this blocked state, we cannot be fully nourished. We will feel nourished by food when the negative thoughts, which determine who we think we are or aren't, are dissolved. Thoughts about food determine how we relate to food and ultimately to other people. Chronic overeating patterns usually fade away when dysfunctional thoughts associated with food are dissolved. So negativity is often stored in excess fat as blocked energy. So when we let go of this negativity, so whether it's loneliness, helplessness, anger, hate, fear of others, fear of life, self-pity, blame, unconscious death urges, guilt, grief, self-loathing, depression, all this stuff, that negative stored energy leaves the body, right? And then with it, it's stored in your fat. And so when you release those negative emotions, that negative energy, then the fat lets go as well. Isn't that interesting? So the fat is used as a protection from all of these things that you have negative thoughts about. Your body is about self-preservation, right? And so it's got that layer of fat to protect you from all of these things that are going to hurt you, right? That you're worried and depressed and sick about, right? So then eating becomes filled with love and joy, and the body and mind become lighter and happier. How cool is that, right? So I think about that. So your mindset on everything, and it goes back to my whole thought about it's way more than just the food we eat as to why I'm on this journey, and really the mindset shift that I want to have and the additional joy and light that I want to create in my life, right? And boom, there that paragraph is. It jumped out at me. So I'm loving this book. It's amazing. So last thing on the list, I saved the best for last. Okay, recipe. All right, I'm going to post it, the details, but here it is. Look at this. I actually just made a fresh batch of this. Going over to a friend's house tonight to play trains. I think it's trains. It's a tile game. Super fun. So I'm taking snacks, right? Look at this. This would be called nacho cheese. Whoa, my cheese. No, nacho cheese. Oh my gosh, and this stuff smells amazing. Okay, this is one of those dips that just you can make your own nacho chips with it, with veggies and all, and have this as your drizzle over top and put like green onions and olives and all that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, it'd be so good. So these work really good as dips too. And this actually is already in here, so it has cashews and bell pepper. Look at that yumminess. So good. So easy to whip up too, so. That was definitely a highlight recipe for the week, so that's why I wanted to share that one with you. And I got it from the book. You can find it on Amazon. I'll post a link for that too. Modern Raw. Rachel Carr. Healthy raw vegan meals for a balanced life. And so she's also got some cook things in here too, which is really nice. So it's actually very well balanced. This is one of the best books I've come across in a while as far as really great recipes, flavorful stuff, not like crazy weird ingredients you've never heard of. Takes forever to make things. Really love this book. I've looked for additional copies of it every time I go back to Costco now where I found it, but I haven't seen it again. So either they didn't get enough or they sold out really fast. But yeah, she's really good. So like I said, I'll put the link to it, but that's where this nacho cheese recipe was. I'll show you the rest of the recipe. I haven't even made the rest of this. This is actually whole nachos. Look at that. Isn't that like delicious? I'm telling you, it's not about being deprived or anything. It's actually about having more flavorful food that tastes better, makes you feel good, just lights up your entire life. So there you have it. That is week 1 under my belt. And like I said, I'm already on day 11. So you've got week 3 or episode 3 recap on week 2. We'll be sharing with you about. So if you have any questions on what I've shared, let me know. And I think that's everything. So I'm going to get off this video. So I will let you go and I will see you again soon. But if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you didn't, you could give me a thumbs down, but that would just be kind of mean, So thumbs up, please subscribe. And if you really want to go for it, you could hit the notification bell so you get notified next time I post the video. Then you'll get it right away. Or not, but that's up to you. But thanks for watching. And like I said, send me any questions you have and I will be sure to answer them in the next episode. So see you all next time. Bye for now.